Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. This is the rare Sunday video, which usually only happens when there's pay-per-views. But there was some big news that came out that just could not wait, and that is that Ricochet is leaving WWE, apparently, according to PW Insider and some other wrestling news sites, that he is leaving when his contract is up. So, there's a lot of people already fantasy booking him into AEW. As usual, we take everything with a grain of salt. We don't know for sure what's going on. Until he actually leaves, we don't know. But for right now, we're going to operate off the idea that Ricochet is leaving. And I'm going to tell you, I don't care. I mean, you knew I was going to say I don't care, because I never care. I always say one individual wrestler usually is not going to change or make or break any company. It's all about the creative that you do with them. But I want to say the Ricochet experiment in WWE, whether he stays or not, is not working. You know, he's been in WWE since, 2014 maybe? It's been a long time. It's been a pretty good run. Maybe 10 years, maybe close to 10 years. And it hasn't worked. And the reason it hasn't worked is because Ricochet is essentially a one-dimensional talent. He reminds me a lot of Rob Van Dam. I know a lot of you guys like Rob Van Dam, but Ricochet is Rob Van Dam for a new generation. Incredibly athletic, physical marvel, can do all kinds of cool stunts. And if you just want to watch wrestling in clips, Ricochet is your favorite wrestler. He could do handspring tumbles over the top rope. He could do 450 flips over the top rope. He can do all these amazing things. Can't talk for nothing and can't adapt for nothing. That was Rob Van Dam's biggest weakness. He came to WWE and wanted to be the same person he was in ECW. He won some, he lost some. He won some, he lost some. Main evented some. Won the title. That didn't last very long. But it took him forever to get there. And only because of ECW that he got there. And then he went to TNA. And he wrestled all the same people who wrestled the same way he does. All the X Division guys. Except for they were younger, faster. And they were doing pretty much the exact same thing that Rob Van Dam was doing in 97. Except for this time it was like 2008 or something like that. And it was a little bit different. Well, Ricochet is going to do the exact same thing. He does all these handsprings, all these tremendous athletic things. How you can count how many people in AEW can do all the same stuff and work the exact same match as Ricochet. Lio Rush is running around there now. AR Fox, Will Ospreay, Dante Martin, Phoenix, the other random luchadors that they're going to end up bringing in, like Commander and El Hijo del Vikingo. All these guys pretty much do the same thing. The big difference is Ricochet could not talk. In the WWE, it's all about personalities. If you don't have size, you better have a personality. And Ricochet ain't got either one. So moving him up the card was difficult. Now, a lot of the AEW fans are going to be like, oh, they're turning on Ricochet. Like, brother, do you hear his entrance today where people are still kind of bewildered that he's still there? There's like generic disinterest in Ricochet in the WWE universe already. It's not like he's a huge star leaving, but he's a huge star to them because he's an indie guy like them. Now, I did see some very astute personalities mentioning, he's still under contract. He's already made the decision to leave. It wasn't too long ago. In fact, it might have been a week or two ago, where people like Will Ospreay was making comments like, oh, there's people here who would love to have Ricochet. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And people are like, isn't this contract tampering? Because, clearly he's been in contact with people in AEW. I'm like, look, who cares? It's sports. People are always putting out feelers. I mean, you can't go around here. Tony Khan, all this contract tampering crap. This is just how business works. Ricochet knows that AEW is where he can cash bigger checks, work less. I think he has a child. He's done the grind of WWE. It didn't get him anywhere. There was no future in what he's doing. The crowd didn't seem to care. The company didn't seem to care. Then they threw him in these 5-minute matches on Twitter. It was like, Even the change from Vince to Triple H didn't change much for Ricochet in terms of his career. So there is no light at the end of the tunnel in WWE. It's in his best interest to go to AEW for the financial benefit of him being overpaid, for the ability to draw, which he can't, because if he could, WWE would have put him on top. And the idea that he's just going to do quote-unquote dream matches with guys like Swerve and Ospreay, who he's already wrestled, and this fan base only seems to care about the sickos. They only care about that stuff anyway. I say let him go and let him have fun with it, man. It's not going to matter in the long run. You know, I don't know how old Ricochet is, but I know he's not a really old guy. It's not like he's 50 or anything like that. He's going to be able to go to AEW and really accomplish some stuff, really establish himself. And for me, as a person who cares about personalities and doesn't care about how many handsprings you can do, it's just going to be watching a guy do the same stuff I've seen other people in that company do. I mean, at some point, once you are what Ricochet is, which, he broke down the barriers that, Rob Van Dam and all those guys sort of put up. He went beyond. His matches with Will Ospreay went beyond even that in terms of choreography, where, again, people started calling them Power Rangers fight scenes. Like, these look like Tony Jaa fight scenes out of The Protector or something. They were that choreographed. And the insane amount of thigh slapping and, the no-selling and all that kind of stuff. This is what those people, that was the next level from the Rob Van Dam, Jerry Lynn matches. It was the next level. And those guys became famous. Swerve and Ricochet did similar stuff. Swerve and Ospreay did similar stuff. So these guys are the next level from the Rob Van Dams and the Jerry Lynns, and they seem to have the same weakness. They put so much effort and time into the in-ring part, making sure that they are athletic, and that is the draw as to how athletic they are. They forget that the personality, especially on the big show, is the most important element. You can be all go, no show. WWE does not care if you can wrestle or not. And I don't even consider what they do wrestling as more gymnastics and stunt work. But it has a place in WWE. If you can do that and have a big personality, you might be great. I mean, look at Logan Paul. He could do a lot of that stuff that Ricochet can do, but he has a personality and he leans mostly on that. So I'm okay with Ricochet going to AEW. I think it's great. Great for his career. He's upwardly mobile. That's excellent. I don't care about the contract tampering. Tamper away. Ricochet is not going anywhere, not doing anything in WWE anyway. I hope it's true. I hope Ricochet is leaving. And it's not because I dislike him. Everything I said about him doesn't change the fact that I think he's a talented guy. It's just that I think that he's an upper mid-card talent and he's reached that ceiling. He's what? Intercontinental champion, United States champion, tag champion. That's the best it's going to get. I don't see him becoming a world champion. I don't see him, selling a bunch of t-shirts. I don't see people investing emotionally in a story that involves Ricochet. And maybe he's tried to get, that mic work. Maybe he's tried to get that heel turn that never came. Or maybe he's just like, look, I'm good just the way I am. I don't need to go and try to change or go and try to get better. And these guys are not going to ask me to change or get better. Which is what, Rob Van Dam, which is an interesting thing because I keep saying Rob Van Dam, but because there was a time where Rob Van Dam was actually change his gear. Just not to wear the tie-dyed, airbrushed gear. And he's like, well, this is who I am. This is what Rob Van Dam is. And 25 years later, he was still doing the exact same damn thing, same hairstyle, same moveset, just no ability to adapt whatsoever. Now, Ricochet, much like Rob Van Dam, did tone down when he went to WWE. But I'm actually looking forward to maybe Ricochet doing something different. We all know that he was Prince Puma in Lucha Underground. But why would you put Ricochet in a mask? You know, he's not a luchador. He doesn't need to be in a mask. And Prince Puma was basically the same damn gimmick as Ricochet. He does flips. That was the whole thing. He did flips in highly choreographed matches. And those matches were even edited in post-production to make him look amazing. Still didn't revolve around him having a personality at all. So in AEW, he's going to be another medium-sized fish in a medium-sized pond, and it'll work out for him. That audience will absolutely appreciate him, and the WWE audience won't even remember that he was there because they don't care right now. Interestingly enough, it was, I don't know, maybe it's about 2 or 3 years ago where the AEW fan base was basically bullying Ricochet into leaving anyway. I think it was one of the videos that I did that the AEW fans, they saw a similar tweet go out that Ricochet was leaving. Ricochet came out of nowhere and said that it wasn't true. And everybody was incredibly mad that he came out and said that it wasn't true and that he wasn't leaving. And that he was, still trying to achieve his full potential. And he was being attacked. I remember this. I'm trying to remember what year it was. Was it like 2020 or 2021 or something? When AEW was up. That's when people were talking about like, oh, you should leave and join AEW. It's like, okay. Now they're finally going to get their wish. I'm very happy for them. I on the other hand, he's not on TV enough right now for him to matter. His, crowd reactions are not up to snuff right now. Merchandise not up to snuff. Again, athletic guy, just no ability to adapt and no ability to talk. So he's perfect in AEW. He's going to make a splash initially. He's going to have those matches with Swerve and Will Ospreay and all that stuff. Then in, who knows, maybe 3 or 4 months, random matches on Collision, and that's going to be about it. But at least he won't have to wrestle on Twitter. So he's got that going for him. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.
Skin tone, so why attach yourself and piggyback the wealth you didn't earn or lack yourself? I'm telling you to own up to your own success and failures. It's a reason why these sleazy guys